Okay, good morning everyone out there in Colorado real estate world. I wanted to give an update on a new law that's tracking through our Colorado State House, and that potential new law, it's a bill currently, is HB 26-1287. And that is a bill that had a hearing last week on March 17th. And at the hearing, the committee, that's the House Committee on Transportation, Housing, and Local Government, adopted 4 amendments to the bill, 4 amendments. And those amendments are important. They're potentially very important to the way real estate brokerage works in Colorado. And they are so important that I thought I would give this update on the bill. So of these 4, one amendment would alter the way broker obligations work with regard to trust accounts. And so specifically, the amendment would no longer obligate brokers to maintain or account for funds of others outside the context of brokerage. So for example, if a broker is a landlord or a broker is holding deposit money for something other than a brokerage relationship with a client, they would no longer have to treat those funds as money belonging to others to be held in an escrow account and accounted for on a monthly basis. The second amendment is an amendment to the law in Colorado that obligates someone who maintains an affiliated business, like an affiliated interest in a title company or an affiliated company that does property maintenance, for example. This statute, if amended, would no longer obligate brokers to get disclosure from both sides, disclosure and consent from both consumers, meaning the buyer and the seller, or the tenant and the landlord. It would only obligate brokers to get disclosure and consent from one party, not both, the party to whom the referral is made. So that's an important potential change. The other very significant potential change, amendment number 3, is the one that would provide authority for a designated broker to give or share with their supervisor or their employing broker client confidential information. And that's an important one. A lot of you know that the Division of Real Estate has taken a position that designated brokers, that's a broker with whom a buyer is working or a seller is working, that person, that designated broker, cannot share client confidential information like motivations or that a seller might accept less, for example, than list. They can't share that information with a supervisor unless the client consents to sharing that information with the supervisor, and that consent must be informed consent. It's got to meet that higher standard of informed consent. This amendment would change the law, if ultimately adopted, in a way that would authorize designated brokers working with a client to share information with a supervisor without the client's specific informed consent. The last amendment is a proposal to drop restitution from the authority the commission would have to impose discipline on licensees. So current law says the Colorado Real Estate Commission may revoke, suspend, place on probation, impose fines, take remedial education, and publicly censure brokers who are non-compliant with our license law. The commission also proposed that it be given the authority to impose restitution, meaning compel licensees as a matter of discipline to pay some third party to compensate them for a loss. That's proposed in our current law, and the amendment last week proposes to strike that authority. So the commission would not be given that authority if that amendment holds and is in our final version of the law once adopted. So we're going to have to wait and see. These are potentially very important 4 changes to the current bill, and that's why I wanted to have a quick update for you all here to know what's going on in real estate world in terms of the laws that govern us. So you'll have to stay tuned. We still have to get the bill through the state Senate, and it may run into some complications there. These amendments may change. We may see new amendments, so we'll just have to wait and see. So stay tuned so that you have an idea of what will be in the final law once adopted. All right, we'll be back with more.